Peace, Vandals and Vandalettes. It's the God Mathematics, and you are now listening to the Vandal Hour, Season 7, live on S.STREET Media. Make sure you check us out on our new website at www.sstreetmedia.net or go to the old website at sstreetmedia.info. If you're looking to find any of our old episodes, you could go to anchor.fm, you could go to Spotify, you could go to our YouTube channel by going to S.STREET Media by typing that in the search engine. You could check out all the old episodes of the Vandal Hour. You can even go to DTF Radio YouTube page and check out some of the old seasons of the Vandal Hour. We have a lot of dope content and material. I think you will have a great history lesson if you check out the Vandal Hour. But before we start any show, I'd like to give a shout out to all the people that came before me and paved the way for me to be sitting here in this seat going on 6 years later. Shout out to Brat, Giggles, Greaseball, J-Lo, Mathematics, Facts on Wax, Issa Sinatra, June 457, Sosa, Dre Kills, the Bring That Back Dude, DJ Quest, Mr. 13, Buyer 3, Reps, Guest, DJ Swift, DJ EA, Darwin Queens, my cousin Chris, my cousin Justice, and Little Bit, and the lovely Paris. Shout out to all of the Vandal gods and goddesses that came before me. They paved the way for mathematics to be here, and now I'm here, man, and I appreciate you all supporting what we've been putting out for the past 5.5+ years. Now, it's Friday night. I'm feeling good. I got my weed. I'm chilling, and I got somebody who I think that has a great voice in this GRAFF game. He is doing his thing right now. He's putting in that pain. He's definitely looking at it from a different point of perspective than just throwing his name on the wall, but longevity. It is my pleasure and the Vandal Hour's pleasure to introduce to you Few. Peace to the God. How you doing?
Peace, Brody. How you feeling?
I'm all right, man. Glad that you are on the show.
Yes, sir.
It's been I've been trying to get you on the show for a little while, so it all happened at the perfect time. We had Flav on, now we got you.
That's my brother.
How you been?
I've been good, bro. Just taking it one day at a time.
Now, right now, before we get into our real deep stuff, this rap culture thing, a lot of things is happening in America right now. A lot of things. And one of the things I want to go into, I want to just breeze over, but one of the things I want to talk about is the black man in America. A lot of things happened this week that's kind of disturbing. One was there was a lady in the park. I'm going to say a white lady just because she was a white lady. White lady in the park, not walking her dog on a leash. A black guy said something to her, and she went ballistic. She tried to make it like the guy was attacking her, called police. Big issue. She got fired. That's one thing. Also this week, a black man by the name of George Floyd, who was killed by the police in Minneapolis this week. A whole lot of shit going on, rioting everywhere. State to state, a lot of shit is going on. It's a very crazy week this week. So, as a black man, how you feeling about what's going on right now in America?
Well, I feel like it's already been going on. It's nothing new. I believe that our culture needs to this different walk of life. I'm not saying that it's our fault or it's anyone's fault, because no one should treat anybody a certain way. But as you can see, something happens, we protest. Something happens, we protest. Something happens, we protest. And obviously, we've been protesting and marching for years and years, and that hasn't really been
effective.
Right. It hasn't been effective. It hasn't been helping us much. The only thing that I believe that I can do to help is just be an example, be a messenger to the youth and to my peers, and just lead by example. Now, how can I do that? Just reading more, articulating myself better, um, viewing myself as a true king, not just saying it because it sounds good, because it's a trend, because the word king has been
It's
more
trending now.
trendy. It's more trendy than an actual walk of life. It's not habitual. So
That's a
all
fact.
I can say is I think that us as people, as like black people, or me as being a black man, is to just lead by example, man. Just continue to educate myself and move accordingly. Rise above all the madness opposed to just being in it. Because if, as you can see by the Barclay today, there was a big riot. Cops were, aggressive and putting people down, pushing people on the floor. It's not working. So the only thing we could do is just move accordingly, and I think that will help personally.
Do you feel that art um can help play a part in this chaos, like help soothe what's going on
Art,
right now? Art.
it could be something therapeutic to take our mind off of things, but I don't think it would really help. That's kind of a touchy situation to say. Like help is a word that I wouldn't use for it,
Mm,
but it can mitigate the situation.
I agree. I agree with you. It's happening right now, and with the Vandal hour, we like to always talk or post current current situations as it's
Hmm.
happening. So
Right,
and me knowing you, I just wanted your perspective on what was going on.
right. It just all starts with action. That's really it. Okay, listen, we're not gonna march. Get some people together. Anybody who's respected in your neighborhood, get them to start some programs. Get them to start some um, Big Brother programs. Get them to start a chess club, a book club. Certain things that could take our mind off the streets, and more people that's an advocate for working out, health and wellness, things like that.
That's
Let's
it.
let's
That's
start
fine.
let's start gardening. Let's start teaching our kids and our peoples how to make our own food. Those things help to me.
And I agree with you on that, man. I'm as I said, the Vandal Hour is more than just graph. That's our motto is actually, graffiti is more than vandalism, and
Right.
a lot of people do. I'm one of them people that did graph. Not really for the fame thing. I like to see my name on the wall. Period. Nothing else. Um,
Mhm.
but I was really the person who was doing graph. Really anti the system.
Mhm.
I was anti the system. What I mean by that is, besides doing graph, I didn't pay the train fare. I stole everything. I didn't want to get a job. I just was just anti the system, and like graph gave me like a voice in a world that I was voiceless. You know,
Mhm.
so that's kind of like, everybody do graph for different reasons. Some people was into the fame thing. Some people is more like a blue collar writer. What I mean by that is like, they just doing what they do, put their work in, and that's it. Then you got some people like that's like anti-system. I'm gonna say like Stay High. 149 was more like, that person that put a message with him bombing. He's bombing, but at the same time, there was a message coming with his work at the same time. Keith Haring is a more similar type of person. Got a doing the illegal aspect of graph, but got a message also
Mhm.
to it. What's my man? Revs. Um, or graph writer, but always had messages in what he was doing, especially what he was doing in them tunnels with the poems from his journal.
Mhm.
Very much in that vein. So like people do this for different reasons. So I'm glad I got you on the show where I could just have a deeper conversation, just writing on walls. So how you been, man?
I've been good, bro. I've been just taking taking it one day at a time. I've been good, honestly.
For the person that may not know, um, what year did you actually start doing graph?
Um, Technically, I started doing graph around '98. I didn't really consider it graph, but that's what it was.
Why you say you didn't consider it
Cause I
graph?
didn't know what it meant. I didn't know graph was a word. I knew graffiti was a word. Like, oh, that's graffiti. But when you break it down to like, oh, that's graph. Like, you understand what I'm saying?
Chundi.
It's when you're a part of it, you view it differently from just the average person. Just average, just bubble letters. It's not really bubble letters. It's you know.
That's funny because you have a lot of people outside of the culture. Everything is bubble letters. Everything is bubble letters. When you catch a tag, they're like, "You see them bubble letters?" Like
Right,
they
right,
don't
right. Yeah, yeah,
understand the language, and even you got a lot of older generation writers who don't even call it graph. They call it writing.
right.
They don't even acknowledge the graph. Oh, yeah, I write. I'm a writer. But they don't even say the graph. They say that like that's like hip hop. Hip hop wasn't hip hop until like the newspaper coined it hip hop. It was something else before that.
Right.
When you came in '98, man, what was you seeing during those years,
Um, what was I seeing? I
graph
seen a lot.
wise?
I seen a lot, but I used to try to imitate the face in Dink's eye. He had a character inside of his eyes to try to imitate that in my book. I actually remember that I had two names. Um, I just remembered this too recently. My first tag name ever was Ace, ACE, and then I started writing. That was writing that in the back of my notebook
Mm.
every day, and quote unquote bubble letters, right? That's what it was considered at the time. Just writing Ace, Ace, Ace. Then I started writing Pookie after that because for the females they was calling me that.
And when we spoke when we spoke on the phone, and you talking about the Pookie thing,
Hmm.
what was you as you said the females is pushing that? Explain what you meant, what you mean by the females was pushing this name and why you wanted to write
They
this
wasn't
name.
they weren't pushing it. They was just they called me. I told them to call me that because it was just I was always like into the ladies during those times on a high level. So I started writing my name everywhere, and they would say, "Oh, I seen your name," like, "Oh, Pookie," like it's like one of those situations. It was corny, but that's what it was.
No, I understand, man. And when I was in Bertram and we was doing the rules, the only reason why I was doing the rules because people would see the rules and come to me and say like I seen the roof. They said the color and everything. So especially when the
Hmm.
chick said it made you want to do it more.
Hmm.
Want to do it more. So when do you become few?
Well, I was writing it everywhere, and then this dude from my neighborhood named Riz had crossed it out. So I approached him about it or whatever the case may be. And he just basically saying that it's whack or it's toy or whatever, and I didn't understand where he was coming from. And at that point, we almost exchanged blows. But my boy Jerk, he stepped in, and he eased the situation off or whatever, and he was explaining to me that how it works, the game goes, and if I really want to do this, he'll show me. And then one night we went out, and I went out with I was writing Pookie everywhere. He was just laughing like, "Yo, bro, you gotta stop writing that." I'm like, "Nah, I'm not gonna stop writing this. This is." I was always confident. You can't tell me any. This was what it was. I'm not gonna stop writing that. And he said, "Yo, write the name you too. I don't think nobody has. I think that name is dope." So like, I'll write it or whatever. So after, like immediately, I was like, "It sound cool or whatever." I took his word as his bond. And I was writing few too. Then the next day I changed it like, yo, that's corny. I started seeing people write one like I'm like, what does one mean? Why you write jerk one? He was like, oh, giving me the science behind that. So I say I'm writing one. If anybody got I don't think nobody has this name, but if they do, you guys gotta come see me.
Uh,
And I owned it from that day on.
Jerk. So basically, Jerk was like your first like mentor or first person to give you the details of the culture.
Yeah, it was jerk. Then after jerk, it was my boy. His name was Freak. He's not. he was super duper nice at art, everything. He just knew how to draw people. He was really good at graffiti and stuff like that. So he was like teaching me certain things too. And then I got familiar with Minus and other people after that.
Speaking of, Jerk was actually on the Vandal Hour. Shout out to Jerk for doing the Vandal Hour also. Great
Hmm.
interview also.
Right.
Um, Minus, was he doing, was he minus not the minus he is now, but was he already doing like the cartoon stuff during this time when you met him?
Minus was always the minus he is. Mine has always been good. So, just being near him was inspiring within itself. Like he taught me things, and today we went to a bando spot just so I could practice. Like, yo, I need to practice, man. He was like, all right, I got a spot. Let's go. So that's how Minus is. And he gave me some pointers or whatever, some valid tips, and that's how that went.
Um, so now you writing few, not few two, but you writing
Hmm.
few.
Hmm.
Um, when do you start doing the throw ups and stuff like that? Or are you just writing the tags at this point, or are you doing the throw ups
Uh, we,
also?
we, I'm taking you on a trip to the past right now. I'm telling you about my current state right now.
No, from the past, in the past.
So when I started chilling with Freak, because they always were busy. Like obviously they were more advanced than me, so I was just I was always competitive. Like I don't need anybody. That's just how I felt in life. I still feel like that sometimes, and I let them do what they did, and I did what I did, and I did it on my own. So I started to get into Griffin. I started to learn, doing my research, getting these movies and watching them and learning about different caps, going to the scrap yard and all these places. And Freak was telling me, he was just like, "Yo, man, you got to work on your style. And that's what give people respect. Is like their style. Like your name could be everywhere, but you won't really matter." And I
Hmm.
figured that too, just by looking, because I knew my stuff looked different from everything else I was seeing. So he helped me with a throw up and stuff like that. I kind of like revamped it over the years and started, and that's how I evolved.
When we was talking
Hmm.
offline, you
Right.
I like what you called your throw up. You said the symbolism.
Hmm.
Yeah, I like how you phrase that. My symbolism. Are you talking saying it like it's my brand?
Right.
So at this time, are you going heavy with where you going? Are you just bombing tag wise, or are you doing a combination of both?
Tags, that's my specialty. And honestly, it was mainly just I got good at tags before I became good at everything else because I always had a neat handwriting as a kid. But it didn't take long for me to evolve my hand style before I evolved my letters and stuff like that. So uh, tags were basically an escape because I couldn't really do other things that good. So as I started to become better, I started to put more of it to the streets. Right now, so I stopped painting. I stopped painting in 2008. I just stopped. I went cold turkey.
What made you stop?
Just focus on other things. I just said it to myself, man, I'm not doing this anymore. I didn't look at it like it was whack, but I just wanted to just focus on the other things I was doing. But they were productive though. It wasn't like I was in the streets running around selling, drugs or anything like that. The things I was doing was very productive. I started my own business. I started my own company, and I started focusing on that. And that was it. That was my focus. The same way I wanted to work on my craft with GRAFF, I had to work on my craft with that. I had to pick and choose, so I just left GRAFF alone. But I was still into it. I still looked at it. I still followed certain people on the gram, but I wasn't really in that world except for the people I knew.
um,
I wasn't even practicing. I was just maybe like writing my name here and there, doing my throw up from time to time, but I wasn't like locked in a dojo. sharpening the sword every day, you know.
During those times, was you still around writers, even though you wasn't writing?
Yeah, I checked them a few times. Like Midas and I always had a relationship where it was like I can call them a year from now, and it'll still be cool. That's how it's always been.
CSF. What's your connection to it? The crew, which is it has a lot of big hitters in it. What's your connection to CSF?
On CSF, I'm one of the four original members. So initially, the name of the crew was called "You Hate Us," and we were working on Ashford and Linden underneath the train cafe, and
Your
we was
your
having a
your phone is breaking
conversation.
up real quick, God. Your phone was breaking up.
You can hear me?
Yeah, you good now.
All right. So we was walking, and we was in the east. We was walking down the Ashford and Linden. It's me, Jerk, Minus, and Gigs, and we were all painting. And at that point, Jerk and myself were kind of like running through Brooklyn, like on our way in the pursuit to going all Brooklyn at the time. Minus and Gigs, they were doing their thing on the J line, and they had a similar style. Jerk and myself had a similar style, so it all made sense. So they was like, "Yo, we need a crew. We need a crew. Like, we need a crew." And YKK was, running the scoreboard up at the time, and they was very inspiring. So they, what we gonna call it? You know, like, somebody said, I'm not sure who it was. They was like, "Oh, you hate us." He was like, "You hate us. We going this right. You hate us. Like that's the crew. You hate us."
Mm.
And he was like, "All right, cool. Let's just do it, whatever." And I was just like, I agree with it, but overnight I kind of slept on it, like yo. And every morning, Jerk used to come get me to my crib because we used to do business together in our neighborhood. So he came to my door, the same routine. He'll have a blunt roll, then go in the stairwell, talk about what we gonna paint, talk about some ideas. And I said, yo, listen, bro, I thought about that name last night. He was like, yo, me too. That's crazy. I said, I think we should just take everything out and call it Hate Crew. He was like, oh, that's hard. I'm like, how are they everywhere, having all the exposure, hitting all the enemies? He was like, oh, that's hard. But he was like, yo, I was thinking about something called Crime Style. I'm like, Crime Style Family. He was like, CSF. And and we had a vote on it, and everybody chose CSF, Crime Style Family. From that point on, I was just like, yo, I'm just gonna keep hate in the back pocket, because I like it so much.
True indeed.
Like, so although it's CSF,
Your
I
phone
kept that
cut.
around.
Say
You can hear me?
it blanked out again. Said
You
talk
can hear
again.
me now?
Yeah, I hear you now, God.
Yeah. So I just kept that around.
And you
CSF,
and
CSF hate.
between us, it still exists.
Oh, of course. Everything still exists. Everything still exists. But
Who
I feel like in order to be down with CSF, it's like it's a different approach. It's not just anybody who just can't get down with CSF. But hate, if you my dogs, I tell you to push hate all day because it's more of a connection that you have with me. CSF is more or less like you evolve with your style. You made it to a certain level, and it's like, yo, push that CSF. It's all about style.
What's your outlook on style?
My outlook on style, I think it's important. It's important to reach the next level in this graph game because without style, you'll just be a fly on the wall. Like, yo, get out of here. you know?
True indeed.
But style, you want style to stay. Like, it's inspiring. Anything stylish is inspiring. Like, even when you look at fashion, if someone has style, it's attractive, it's good, it's aesthetically pleasing to the eye, you know?
The reason why I ask you questions like that because I know you very analytical. So I need that analytical how you really see it. I already know it's going to be an interesting outlook. So that's why I'm saying that.
Yeah, like I said, if you don't practice daily and sharpen the sword and actually learn how to shadow properly, and even sometimes now I'm not as good as I could be. But learn these things and make your work aesthetically pleasing. You're just wasting your time. You're just going to be. You can be up all day. everywhere, every borough or city. But if it's not aesthetically pleasing, you won't get as much respect as that quality work. You're just wasting your time.
It show you want as a me myself. I want to see elevation.
Exactly.
I want to see elevation. I want to see a lot of the principles of graph. I think. Let me give you an example. When I what I think a dope writer is when he does the throw up. He got the throw up tight. He got a tight hand style, but also forget the pieces. That's like Yoda levels. I'm talking about on the regular. I'm talking about the regular writing shit. Hand
Right.
style, your throw up, but also I want to see different your name and block letter. I want to see something maybe a little colorful this time. I may want to see some silvers and no silvers and blacks or silver and reds or silver and blues. I want to see the
Mhm.
differentiate. I want to see your shit in different styles. I want to see it in different fonts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like that's important too, but mainly mastering your main logos. To me, that's important. Just mastering those main logos, and as you evolve, you could add different things. Depending on the spot, how much time you have, you could give somebody a different spice. But for the most part, I think that mastering that repetition is really important because it's just like Nike or Fila or any other logo you see. When you see it, you want it to be the same way. You want it to have the same crispness to it.
True indeed. I want like we spoke about Zexor. I was talking to someone else about Zexor today, and Zexor I think is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. He had the regular throw crazy. He did switch it up, do it backwards sometimes. He got stylish with that. But even when you seen him do something like you you will see a roof, something he did on the roof, on another roof would be something different. On a ground level, he's doing something different, but he's showing very many dimensions of himself. You know what I
Yeah, no,
mean?
yeah. Rest in peace to Zexo. Like you
Rest in
talking about,
peace.
yeah, rest in peace to Zexo. But he wasn't really one of my influences in regards to versatility. I seen people like Smash, WGF, Team,
Ooh,
Deck. Like I was inspired by people like that, like Keeps, Think,
ooh.
people in
Um,
my neighborhood, like Jerk, Peasky, Minus, Fresh Five, Flavor, Foot. Like those people helped me sharpen my sword just by how crispy they are, how repetitive they are. Those people are the people that I kind of looked up to. Like
I
I wanted to
I
emulate
agree.
those people.
I agree. Every single person that you name there is people who definitely is an example of what I was talking about. All those people you seen different shit. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
you're
know
seeing something different
you know
all the time.
we know they repetitive shit. You already know everybody got they throw and tag. Everybody know that. But then
Right.
when they got to certain, you may go to the tracks though,
Exactly.
and you see some
Exactly.
other shit. You be like, oh whoa.
Or like, oh yeah. And it was just so it looked like somebody just put it there, like you just did it with a stencil or something like that. So like stuff like that.
True
That's what
indeed.
inspired me.
Um, so you took off for a while,
Right.
a long break. What was it? What was it that made you come back? What made you want to like, say, I want to pick up a can. I want to do this again.
I was mainly fresh five foot and flavor. They were throwing me up. They were just like writing, like fresh five will write his name, and then he'll write foot flavor fewer, or foot will write his name and he'll write flavor fewer fresh five. Vice versa. Everybody was throwing each other up. I was walking around the notebook, seeing it, like, yo, they want me to come back out. Man. I'm laughing at it. I'm seeing it like, oh snap. Like, I'm seeing it and it's like catching my eye. So Fresh called me one day like, yo, that's when COVID first happened. But he been calling me though for years. Yo, come back out, come back out. Come on, man. We got stuff to do. Yo, come on, man. Start practicing. I'm like, nah, I'm done with that, you know? And then he called me like, and I started seeing how it was on the uprise with the whole COVID situation. And that was kind of inspiring too. Like, and I seen a lot of whack stuff on the streets. I'm like, oh man, come on. So fresh, like, yo, it's sweet, it's sweet. So I'm like, all right, man, let's do it. We went to the depot and got some paint. We went daytime painting one day, and I was just like, from that day on, it was on. That one little run, stock caps, everything. I didn't know what an adapter was, a female. Like last time I was painting, we ain't have we ain't have that. It was just the
I,
rest of it, you took the cap off, put a different cap, you good.
I was gonna ask you, how has it changed from now to then to you?
Mainly just the adapters and everything like that. Like they make the spray paint differently. Like I said, like female caps and stuff like that. So I was out the loop with those things, but I caught on one, two, three. It wasn't that hard to catch up.
What you call it? That I had a bad um coming back into graph. I was really kind of lost. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't have no one to kind of guide me. So I'm thinking it's the same thing. I'm climbing gates and going into spots and have no caps, the wrong caps with me, with the cans I got on me. Like I had
Yeah.
bad situations on my comeback. How was the feeling? What was going through your mind when you hitting them streets right now?
It's mainly practice right now. It's all practice. When I made a whole Instagram account and everything like that, I'm thinking about deleting it, but that's a different conversation. But right now, I'm kind of addicted to it right now. Like I'm immersed into it more than I should be. And this is me being honest because I'm competitive. And before I left, I was always good, but I never reached that peak and that level of greatness in this game. So that pushed me to start drawing more and doodling and stenciling. And every time I go out, it's practice. I'm not going out to be up. I'm going out because I need to get better.
Well, I've been seeing you and Ovo having a nice little run right now, baby.
Honestly, me and Over, we just hit a few good spots, and we hit a few good spots, and we went home. We went out like twice, but
How's
the
that
two
bond
times
together?
it was good. Over know how to move. I mainly been painting with Foot Flavor and Fresh Five. I've been in Keezy. Shout out to my man Keezy
Shout
STS.
to the guard.
Right. So I mainly been painting with them. When Over and I went out, we went out twice, but the spots we hit were so good that it looks like we did more than what we did. You know.
You named uh, Flav, Fresh, and Foot. Talk to us about this new crew that y'all put together, man.
We always wanted to put down a crew, a F crew, but we just came up with something. We all were just trying to think of something, and I was just like apartment 4F. They was like, "Ooh, that's tough," but just take out the apartment, just call it 4F. I was like, "All right, cool," and we agreed to call it 4F. Four real friends, you know.
Mm. And you can also say the Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four, four real friends, you
Uh,
know.
so what's the plans for 4F, man? What is looking like in the future?
Just to paint and just sometimes people will say they have a crew, but it's not really a crew. It's just a I don't know, just egos attached to three letters or however many letters acronyms you want to have. But this is really fam. I'm at their house hanging out. They call them, if they need food, I got them. Vice versa, whatever it is. If they need a sweater or jacket or anything, it's a different bond.
Real
You
life
know,
shit. real life
Hmm.
shit.
Right.
Do you feel like it's like these days it seems like, and this is my opinion, like the cruise is not really based on of true friendship, but just based on writing.
Right. And sometimes it is like that, depending on the situation. Like sometimes you meet somebody from writing and you may go out with them and y'all may have a good night. You like the way they vibe and you might go, yo, instantly you might say, yo, push my crew, bro. Like, or they might just do it without you even asking, what's your crew? And you say your crew, they'll push it, or vice versa. Like, what's your crew? You'll push it. You know how that go.
True indeed.
So and as it just become a respect thing. But the crew, I feel like the foundation should be built off of just staying strong and being there for each other and helping each other grow in many other ways, and mainly artistically helping each other sharpen your creative sword and keeping each other grounded.
Um, do you, what's the plans for outside of East New York? You trying to go on that all city run?
That's a part of the plan, but right now I'm mainly focused on getting better. So when I do touch these other boroughs, we are respected when we go out there. Like, yo, these dudes came through and they look good. They did their thing, not just we painting everywhere and it's looking unpresentable. Because these dudes, they've been going the whole time. So every time I get a chance to hit a dead block or hit a block where I could take my time, I'm aiming for those spots. I'm not really doing too many hot spots right now because I'm not as quick as I used to be. But it's getting there though. It's getting there for sure.
How you feel about what's going on in the culture right now and in the streets right now?
The culture is good. The good ones are really good, and the bad ones are really bad. The bad ones that they like this whole jetpack situation is cool, but it's not cool when you see somebody took a spot already and you go up after them and right next to them because you know that the graph sites are going to put it on the page or whatever the case may be. If I say to you, hey man, this is wrong. This is not a part of the game. This is not what people do to earn respect in the game, and you do it anyway. It's a culture vulture. You're just doing whatever you could do to make a name for yourself. You're not really in it for the right reasons, and that's what I'm seeing. But the people who are really doing their thing, I'm inspired.
So do you feel like the game right now has a lot of clout chasers?
Oh yeah, for sure. A lot of clout chasers. A lot of Instagram is an attention seeking platform within itself already. Attach that to graph and this, you have problems, which I notice. So, anybody could just DM you and get close to you. Before it wasn't like that. You remained a mystery.
Mm.
But it's a gift and a curse though because you could genuinely get advice from some OGs if you really want it. If you want it to be that way, opposed to saying, "Hey, let me get next to you." You could say, "Yo, listen, I have, you know, what do you think about this?" And the OG could respond to you in a DM like, "Oh, do it like this." You understand what I'm saying? They could give you advice from that way, opposed to you just people are so concerned with getting next to people that they forget that they have to actually put in work and earn their right to get next to someone. And you don't need to get next to someone. All you gotta do is be better than yourself, and
Woo!
you'll earn your respect.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Um, graph wise, give me three words that describes few. Graph wise,
Graph wise, they describes me.
three words that describe you.
Um, well, the acronyms for few is finish every war. So I just try to just make it like that. Anything in life every life is a war. People may not look at it that way, but this is how it is.
Explain that to me.
Because life is not easy unless you were born into some type of wealth or something like that. And even then, it's still not easy because you have to be. It's all eyes on you now. Like Jaden Smith, it was all eyes on Jaden Smith because he's Will Smith's son. But look at us. Look what we go through. We got to worry about going outside, getting killed by a cop. Life is not easy. It's a war, and you got to figure out how to strategize, how to move, how to be tactical. And that's what graffiti teaches you in a sense.
What about graffiti inspires you?
The creativity, just being able to be original, to earn respect, to follow a rule, to follow a culture and help uplift it, you know? To be a staple in the culture inspires me to just be better and to be patient with myself.
We were speaking about how people attack Graph. You
Hmm.
got people that go out every night. You got people that go out once in a blue moon. Do you think
Hmm.
that a person who goes out once in the blue moon can still achieve the greatness?
I mean, once in a blue moon, no, not once in a blue moon. But if you go out 2 times a month and every time you go out you do like a crazy blockbuster or a stompy
Mm.
and you hit some great spots, you'll definitely have longevity. It's all the quality versus quantity conversation. There's knowing what to hit. Like, all right, if I hit this wall, it's gonna last for 5 years. If I catch 200 of these in a year, I have 200 fields living all throughout New York City. That counts.
What have you learned? What have you learned from the culture? Well, any lessons you've learned from the culture?
Patience. Just how to be patient, not to rush, because the moment you start rushing and fiending, you have to know when to say, all right, you can't hit that spot tonight. Stuff like that gets you bagged. Just rushing to hit a spot because you just so eager, because you there. You got to know when to say, all right, it's hot tonight. Let's just come back a different night, or let's go hit something else and come back later on at maybe you would at the spot and it's 2, and you say, yo, it's kind of hot right now. Let's come back at 4 when we finish doing whatever we was doing before. Just learning how to just be patient.
That's a fact. Do you have a lot of people that swear the wall is gonna disappear the next day?
Exactly.
And even in war, you gotta be tactical. You gotta
Know when
be
to retreat.
true in it. You gotta know when to retreat. You gotta know when to stand down. You know,
Exactly.
and I think some of the best bombers, and it's funny, like, some of the people that you see names everywhere, you hear them getting bagged a million times. But then there's certain people that you don't even hear about, but they shit is just like a staple of New York. And you don't even
Hmm.
hear about them. They're not even in the common conversation. We were speaking a few. I interviewed a lot of people did in season 7, so
Right.
I don't remember who I was speaking to, but one of the people I was speaking to, we were speaking about Vifa, and I
Hmm.
believe Vifa has that longevity type of bomb. He's out there every year because obviously you see it, but
Hmm.
he has a longevity. It's being constantly seen, but it's not every day though. It's not an everyday thing. But he got great spots that he hit, um, spots that don't get buffed on a
Hmm.
fucking fast, shit that you probably see a tag from '92. You be like, God
Right.
damn. But like, very tactical, very militant in their bombing. You
Hmm.
know, um, where do you see yourself? What is your goals for the next 2 years, 3 years?
I just improving my style to master my throw up. I feel like my throw up is dope. It's original, different. I didn't get it. I developed it for the help of freak, and I turned it into something on my own. So I would like to master that and see that in the walls more. And just to become a New York staple alongside my bros. That's really it, man. Just stay humble, remain a student, stay humble, and to bring some flavor and style in New York City because and teach the people that's coming under. Once I get better, my goal is to just teach as much people as I can. Like I don't want it to be overwhelming, but whenever I get an opportunity to put somebody on, I'll do that.
Do you fuck with black books?
Yeah, I deal with black books. My black book game is pretty decent. I'm pretty good with the marker and the pens and stuff like that. But
I think the black book is a staple of graph that um need to be pushed more. In the 90s, the black book was like kind of the classroom, you
I'm
know.
gonna it's not even the black book because the black book has to look nice, but it's mainly just a paper period. The notebook.
True indeed.
Get a notebook from the store. Get some highlighters. Get some sharpies or whatever. Get some Prismas and apply it to the notebook first, and then as you get better, then you start busting out the black book because I feel like the black book should look good. Your black book should have your best work in there. It shouldn't just be like you practicing in your black book. You should actually know what you want to do.
That is true. You might have to have two, your bullshit one and your real one, you know.
Exactly. You got the book that you practice with every day, and you want to master a certain style, and then transfer it to the black book, and from there, from the wall, etc. You know how that go.
I think a lot of people skip the black book. That's the reason why I asked you that. Like a lot of people, I think just think of a tag and hit the wall, you know, and it looks like it. It look like a lot of these dudes look like they just can't. They just started their tag 2 minutes ago, and when it's just there. And then I think that you supposed to go through the process. Not all of us go through the process, but I think that we should go to the. I think a lot of these younger writers should go back to that process because it shows. How, let me give you an example. I be seeing dudes that got a ill fill style. They fills be stupid, and then when you see they tag, it looks kind of ugly. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like no disrespect to anyone, but I would think that you doing the fill game at a high level like that, your hand style should be at a high level like that too. No, I mean I think that's a basic. I think the hand style comes before anything, but it
Yeah,
seems
basically, the hairstyle there's definitely should be aesthetically pleasing. It should be neat. It should be symmetrical. Everything should be even. It should just have some flavor to it. I think that, and it's learning as you go on, learning how to do flares and certain things. Those things come along with the territory as well. It's a lot, man. You have to be patient.
that's
You
a
know the
fact.
basic aphorism, patience is a virtue. That's really true. You have to take time out to really practice every day. Every day. If you really want to be good at something, it takes about 10 years of consistent practice. And people just come in the game thinking that they're doing something. No, just be humble. Paint. Continue to paint. Don't try to think you're bigger than what you are because we see your name everywhere. Paint and actually get better. Be dedicated to it. And that's what the game is missing right now. Just that patience and there's people. Minus to this day, Fresh Five, everybody I know, they doodle every single day. Every day. They writing on pieces of paper, writing their name every day. And they're super nice to me.
I agree.
You feel me?
I agree. I'm gonna say this. Out of your team of people, you got Foot, you got Fresh, you got Minus. Give me, and Flav. Give me, one good word about each one of those dudes, man. Because all those dudes is good friends of mine. Give me one word or two words that describe each of those people that you named. Like the Flav. When you think of Flav, what you think of?
Flavor's an OG. Flavor's like Flavor know what he doing, man. Flavor's just an OG. He just an OG, just seeing how he move, how neat he is, and he's just humble. He doesn't really care if because the FVR situation. He doesn't care. Like he knows who he is, and he keeps it that way.
And that's a fact. Shout out to Flav. Give me
hmm
one about Fresh Five. Give me a couple of words about Fresh Five.
Um, I can't even really give you a word. He's just artistic, but he's funny, man.
Hmm.
Like first, he just artistic. He's just funny. That's my dude, and he's just a good brother to me, man. That's really it.
What
He
about
artistic.
what about Foot?
Militant, neat. That's what I can say about Foot. It's very militant, very neat, like quick. You paint with Foot, you not getting bagged. That's just what it is. That is what it is. This is how I feel.
What about Minus?
Stylish. Minus hits every sector of graph. Anything he could do anything. If you say, "Yo, I got a spot to do this," he's gonna have something for it.
I'm gonna
He
say
could do
he's
whatever.
he's one of the he's and pardon me from cutting you. He's one of to me, he's one of the ill ones. I'm not gonna lie to you. When he was doing that truck series with Art and Rhymes,
Yeah,
he was killing it. I believe I seen him do a wall with what's the breakdancing dudes like Whack and before
I'm not
Whack.
sure.
No,
I'm
I'm
not
no,
sure
I'm
about
no,
that.
I'm just
Yeah,
saying it. It was I forgot they did it. It was um,
whatever it was though, it was
yeah,
dope.
he the comic book shit that he be doing.
Oh yeah,
Um,
he been working on that for a long time, and that's what I'm saying. People don't even know that Minus been working on those comics for years. Before he even started bringing it to the wall, he was drawing it in black books on pieces of paper, just doodling every day. Any piece of paper, napkin, he write on it every day.
yo, I see him. Work is ridiculous. Work is ridiculous.
hmm
Last one, Jerk.
Jerk, super neat. I said Jerk is always he was always militant or
Your
whatever.
phone is breaking up, God.
You can hear me?
Yeah, now.
Yeah, Jerk was always super neat. He had, to me, a clean New York hairstyle is very neat. It doesn't have to have a bunch of twists and turns to it. As long as it's very neat. Like they have a very neat handwriting. I think that's very important. So Jerk was always like super neat and tactical too. Like I feel like if Jerk would have continued to paint, he would have been on that level like Vifa because he has great spot selections. That's just my opinion. He'd have been in that same category eventually.
I agree. I agree. He definitely, he definitely, he definitely was putting a lot of pain in, putting a lot of pain in his
He still
time.
has tags around now, like that's old. So if he'd have kept that up, it'd have been.
That's a fact.
Mhm.
I definitely know one of his spots. I live around Ralph, and he definitely. I didn't know who that was until I met him, and he definitely got joints still popping and locking. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I appreciate you for your time, God, man.
Yes, sir.
You know, I knew I was going to get a great conversation with you. Um, Definitely a analytical side of graph. I knew I was going to get with you, so I knew I was going to
Right.
have that conversation, man. Any last words you want to say to the people? Any shout outs you want to give?
I mean, shout out to all my peoples out there. Y'all know who y'all are. CSF 4F. That's really it. That's who I'm rocking with this year. Shout out to my man Keezy.
Shout out to the
Shout out
God.
to Maine. Shout out to Flash.
I try to throw their stuff up this week. If you've been following the Vandal Hour Instagram page,
hmm
dude's been getting busy. I've been bumping into a lot of their stuff, so I've been making it my business to throw them on the page, man. I hate reposting shit all the time. You know, we do a lot of reposting. I have another person who works on the page itself.
hmm
But I've been seeing a lot. I've been moving around so much recently. I just been taking pictures and videos of everything, and them boys is definitely doing what they do. Shout out to Keezy. Shout out to Maine. Definitely doing their thing. I got some shit from Knox and D Don on Uptown too. That was nice. Check out the Vandal Hour Instagram page. We're trying to keep your directly tapped into the streets. You know, forget all that reposting shit. I'm seeing it. I'm taking flicks. I'm throwing it up. If you have any work that y'all want me to post, just DM us. I appreciate your time, God, man.
Likewise, King.
And what you call it? Keep doing what you do. Um, I appreciate what you're adding on to the culture. I like your sauce. Your sauce is definitely spicy. Definitely, I could tell that you just in your world, and I respect that. You know.
Right, yeah, I don't really pay attention too much. You understand what I'm saying? I don't really do it for that. I just do it for the love. And that's it, man. Eventually, in the next 5 years, we'll see where it's at. Maybe another interview will come
Oh yeah, we
when that time
definitely,
comes.
we definitely got to build
After
again.
I reach a higher level, you know?
How about this, man? I might need you when we get everything back together and stuff. I might need you on my panel because I want to do a panel type thing, with different writers, just for opinion wise, and just have different subjects and build on the subjects.
You know, you're my dog. Whatever you need, I'll be there for you, bro. Just let me know in advance.
I think you have a great perspective about graph, and I think that it'd be great to to have three other people with that same same outlook, and just having a conversation about the culture of graph and in detail.
Right.
Well, I appreciate you for your time. Send me 3 pictures so I can advertise the show. Everything should be ready like in a half an hour. Just send me 3 pictures so I can advertise it. Thank you again for doing the show, God. Keep doing what you do. Be safe, be on point, and be aware.
Yes, sir. Eastern Europe forever, man.
You already. I'm gonna close this out. Before I close this out, I want to say today's mathematics is wisdom born, all being born to knowledge, knowledge. Wisdom born, all being born to knowledge, knowledge. Knowledge is a good conversation between two men. Sometimes you need that. You know what I mean? All this
Hmm.
fucking chaos going on. Sometimes two men got to just stand face to face and just have a good conversation. It brings about peace. You have a good night. Shout out to all the Vandal Hour goddesses and goddesses that came before me. Shout out to the Vandal Hour audience. And y'all have a good night.
Peace
Peace.
to the gods and earths.
Peace to the gods.